Why does being alone feel so uncomfortable? Why does your brain practically scream at you to find company, even when you know, logically, that you are perfectly safe? Here's the truth. Your brain treats loneliness like a threat, not a minor inconvenience. A genuine biological danger signal. And today, we are going to explore exactly why. Welcome to Daily Psychology. I'm glad you are here. Let's start with evolution. Thousands of years ago, being separated from your group wasn't just emotionally unpleasant. It was a death sentence. Alone, you couldn't hunt effectively, you couldn't defend yourself from predators, and you couldn't share the warmth of a fire on a freezing night. So your brain developed a built-in alarm system. When you are isolated, it triggers the same stress pathways that activate when you are physically in danger. This is called the social monitoring system. Neuroscientist John Cacioppo spent decades studying this. He found that when people feel lonely, their brains shift into a state of hypervigilance. Your cortisol levels rise. Your sleep becomes fragmented. Your immune system actually weakens. In other words, loneliness doesn't just feel bad. It slowly damages your body. And here's the paradox of modern life. We are more connected than any generation in history. We have social media, video calls, group chats, and online communities. Yet studies show that roughly half of all adults report feeling lonely on a regular basis. The US Surgeon General even declared loneliness a public health epidemic. So what's going on? The answer lies in a crucial distinction your brain makes between stimulation and connection. When you scroll through social media, your brain receives a flood of information. Notifications, likes, comments. It feels busy. It feels social. But your nervous system knows the difference. Passive scrolling actually correlates with higher loneliness, not lower. Because your brain isn't looking for information. It's looking for presence. Eye contact. Shared laughter. The feeling that someone truly sees you. Think about it this way. Imagine eating a photograph of a meal versus eating the actual meal. Your eyes might register food, but your stomach knows the truth. That's what digital interaction often is for your social brain. It looks like connection, but it doesn't nourish you. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Loneliness changes how you perceive the world. Research from the University of Chicago showed that lonely individuals are more likely to interpret neutral social signals as negative. A friend who doesn't text back quickly. They must be angry. A coworker who didn't smile in the hallway. They must dislike you. Loneliness creates a filter that makes the world seem more hostile than it actually is. And this creates a vicious cycle. You feel lonely, so you perceive rejection everywhere, so you withdraw further, which makes you even more lonely. So how do you break the cycle? Science points to a few powerful strategies. First, prioritize quality over quantity. You don't need dozens of friends. Research consistently shows that having even 2 or 3 close, meaningful relationships is enough to satisfy your brain's social needs. Second, engage actively, not passively. Instead of scrolling through feeds, send a message. Make a phone call. Have a real conversation. Active social engagement triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in a way that passive consumption simply cannot. Third, practice microconnections. These are small, brief moments of genuine human contact. Chatting with a barista. Smiling at a stranger. Saying thank you and meaning it. Studies show these tiny interactions accumulate and significantly reduce feelings of isolation. And finally, reframe solitude. Being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Solitude, when chosen intentionally, can be restorative, creative, and deeply peaceful. The key is whether you feel you have a choice. Your brain evolved to keep you connected because connection kept you alive. That ancient wiring hasn't changed, even though the world around it has transformed completely. Understanding this doesn't make loneliness disappear, but it does give you something powerful. Awareness. And with awareness comes the ability to choose differently. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Daily Psychology for more insights into how your mind really works. And remember, the fact that loneliness hurts is not a flaw. It's proof that you were built for connection. I'll see you in the next one.